There's been a lot of discussion about the changes to the parry system in Street Fighter 6 lately, with Season 3 right around the corner, and people thinking they have found changes in the element patch that was playable at EVO Japan. There's a lot of things people are talking about and a lot of things people are saying when it comes to the parry mechanic. If you haven't heard, the new parry mechanic, to make it long story short, is when you hold back and push parry at the same time. That's the only way you can get a perfect parry while standing. On crouching, you have to hold down, back, and parry at the exact same time when the move hits to get a perfect parry when it comes to crouching attacks. Now, when I say perfect parry, I mean like the screen freeze and all of that. That's what people are saying has changed when it comes to EVO Japan. Now, me, I have no idea. I have no idea what happened. I did not go to EVO Japan, and a lot of people are saying this is what the case is. We have to wait and see until the patch comes out. There's been plenty of times where people have said that things have changed, and the patch comes out and it's exactly the same. So take things like that, what I'm saying here, and other people with a grain of salt. Now, another thing that people have been saying that they want to see is Street Fighter 6 basically just take on the Street Fighter Third Strike parry. And I find that very interesting. I kind of like the idea of the Third Strike parry coming back, and could it really fit in Street Fighter 6? Now, I think there's two ways you can do this. Now, do you want to change the Street Fighter 6 parry into the forward input like Street Fighter 3's Third Strike that way? Or did you want to change it to where the parry has no freeze on it, to like how when you perfect parry a fireball? Because these are both big changes that can mean really big things. And I want to kind of talk about the latter first. So let's take a closer look at what it looks like when you freeze the whole game when a perfect parry happens. When this happens, the big complaint is people kind of don't like how it slows down the whole game, and it basically gives the person who just mashed the button out a free time to, okay, it hit, now it's time for me to react and put in my input, instead of believing in their button, and when they get hit, they are already pushing the parry button and immediately going into their attack. Like a Street Fighter Third Strike, there is no big freeze for you to react. There's like an audio cue and there's a flash, but there's no stopping time. You have to react after you see the parry. And you can't like automatically react after every attack when you get a parry. You need to know when to use it. And like Street Fighter 6, I'm pretty sure most things you parry, you can attack back immediately. I know there's some places where perfect parry doesn't really matter. You have to keep perfect parry and the attack after and after and after to really get a punish. That's different. But like instead of people throwing out their strings, you just happen to perfect parry one random button because you just decided to throw it out at this time. And because the freeze happened, you have a whole time to react, like, oh, I got it, now it's time to react, instead of you throwing out and have to, okay, got it, react, instead of it being so easy. I think that's a big complaint that people have when it comes to the parry system, and changing it to where it doesn't freeze it, I feel like is a good idea, because people like the freeze in the game, or should I say Capcom like the freeze in the game, because it's really good for visual and watching and esports and shit like that. But I don't think they're going to remove it, honestly, but it is a thing they could do, because drive impact is still in the game, and there's still slowdowns with drive impact that are very cool and that are kind of hype, that can be hype for the viewers and people that don't really understand what's going on to kind of pog at a little bit. But I believe that switching this could kind of change that a little bit, but the main problem is it still makes it to where that you can still just throw it out in the middle of a combo, and if you get it, you get lucky. Well, not get lucky, but like if you're just throwing it out because you're like, maybe I'll get it this time, instead of truly knowing and calling out your opponent then hitting it, it can still get you that same effect to where you just get out of jail for free, sort of. And I still feel like the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike parry is very hype, because that's what I was talking about more towards the end. The visual with the spectacle there on the esports is, when it comes to Street Fighter and fighting games nowadays, I just say more or less, when they have the slowdowns and stuff like that added, it's literally just for like, not just for that, but like casuals do enjoy seeing it. It is hype when you're watching, and it does make each fight a little bit more memorable because of the slowdown. So that's why it's mainly added, because it's just a spectacle. It's something that you enjoy seeing. And I still feel like it is still a spectacle to see a parry in Third Strike. It's not a slowdown, but the flash and the sound effect and the way that game just shows and the stance your character takes, it makes that the spectacle. That looks really cool when that happens. Not because it's a big slowdown. Everyone's like, oh look, oh look, oh look. The parry that happens is because it's fast. Like immediately while you're attacking, boom, 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 parry, parry, parry. That is fire. You know, the slowdowns are still cool, but like the parry, 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 like at full speed into immediate not reflect, but like immediate attack to block them back, or your own combo, or just a DP to get them off you. Like, it's just so cool to think about that, and it happening fast and like no slowdown is still extremely cool. So I don't think they lose the spectacle if they take that away, in my opinion. All right, now let's talk about the other half of this video, which is the pushing forward during the input in order to get your parry out, which I think would be really cool because I feel like it would make you have to commit more. It takes more of that risk, you know, in the risk and reward sway of parry, which is one of the big problems with it. The risk of reward is way too outweighing the parry sometimes in most situations when you throw out a parry. They try to change that with the grab and, you know, throw loops, blah, blah, blah. That makes it all crazy. And people are thinking throw loops are out of the game. So there has to be a change to parry because of that. And holding forward could be something that could be a great change for that, because I feel like that goes with the whole making it less easy to throw out, and it's something where you really have to throw your neck out there. It makes it something to where you're really calling it out, and if you botch it, you get punched because you're not holding back. Now the big problem is you would have to change the way parry works, because the way parry works right now, even if you don't perfect parry things, you still don't get hit. If your character still parries it with the mechanic, because that's the whole point of the drive bar for parrying, drive rush, drive impact. You can just hold it down and continue to parry things. But the big problem is, because that's how it works, it would completely change the whole drive system. And the drive system all is so stuck together, and this works because of that, and that works because of this. And if you take away this, we gotta do something to that. You take away that, we gotta do something to this, and this is only there because this is over there, and there's only there because this is that. And like, if you take away one of those things, it could just break the whole system. So like, either there would have to be a giant change to the whole system, take away some drive bars, add something else new to do it, add something else new to the drive system. I don't know, because of the fact that drive rush is out of drive parry. So if they change the input for drive parry, it would completely change drive rush. So that's the thing that I'm wondering about. I guess you could make it holder forward in medium kick and medium punch to get it to come out, but I just feel like that still might be a little too easy, because of the fact that, you know, your character's still going to go all blue, so it doesn't really matter if you're holding forward. Maybe just have to change the way it works. It would have to work only on the side that you're holding toward. So no block parry, I guess. If they wanted to add a block parry, maybe then when you get that correctly, you don't get to slow down. And then if you do the whole forward, you get to slow down if you want to do it out of block, or kind of make it like a push block maybe. I guess there's drive reversal in the game, so you don't need a push block if they want to do like a block parry. That's kind of like a random tangent I'm going on with the block parry, because I'm trying to figure out a way this would work the whole forward. I guess that's the only thing I could think of, is holding medium punch and medium kick at the same time while holding forward, to make you still use that drive rush in order to get a perfect parry. And then if you're not holding the right way, you just get hit. Maybe that's what they can do. But then I guess you could put in drive rush on accident. But if you put on drive rush on accident, that means you're mashing. You're not supposed to get the parry out if you're mashing. So maybe that's a good little skill gap there a little bit with something like that. If you're mashing, trying to mash the parry out, you get drive rushed and you really get beat up. But if you get it correctly, you just push it forward once, boom, you should get it almost every time. Well, not almost every time, but like if you know what you're doing. Yeah, I kind of rambling a little bit on this because I just really wanted to talk about it, and I'm not one for a script writing type of person, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think the Street Fighter Third Strike parry could work here in Street Fighter 6, or do you think it would just destroy the whole system? Because like I was saying earlier, I think they're going to have to rework the whole system to do something like this, and I don't think that's something they really want to do unless they already did it. You know, people are saying season 3 is where a lot of the big changes are, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't think they're gonna make any big changes on season 3. I don't think they're gonna do anything revolutionary, anything crazy to the game. They might get rid of throw loops, they might change up parry a little bit, but I don't think they're gonna add any new supers or any new drive mechanics. I really want them to surprise me, but I'm not going to be surprised if they don't do anything. So, yeah. What do you guys think down below? How big of the changes are you expecting for season 3 with it being right around the corner? Y'all think this third strike parry would be cool? Let me know if I ramble too much. Ramble down to me in the comments down below. I love talking to y'all, and I love all the support and views I've been getting lately. I've been getting a couple hundred views on a lot of my videos. I am a smaller channel, so getting a couple hundred views is actually really awesome. But yeah, I do appreciate that. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. What the heck? Why did I say video like that? See ya.